to Survivor Northwestern Castaway, everyone. I know we don't have the whole group with us here, but we got a nice representative portion that will be competing in the challenge. First, today, let's just get it out of the way. You guys know there are shifts for this challenge. And the reason for that is you guys are going to be competing in pairs for the first 2 weeks of the competition.
2 weeks?
What? The first 2 weeks. You will compete as pairs, you will vote as pairs, and you will be sent home as pairs.
Oh, that's a little rude.
The pairs are Jesse and Matt.
Friday night, there was one person who I got a bad vibe on from social media. I was like, this is the person I'm probably not going to get along with. Her name is Ashley Meek. And we find out that there's a twist, and we're all partnered up for the first 2 weeks of this game.
Carson and Ashley, you two will be.
And I'm partnered with Ashley, and I was like, no! Because I just didn't get a good vibe from her, and I'm not gonna lie, when I met her, she confirmed that vibe from me. She was saying some crazy stuff. It was just like she had a really intense energy. Somebody that I don't think that I can work with, but that I'm physically tied to for the first 2 weeks of this game.
So let's talk about the challenge. Each pair will be given a list. The list will have a number of call numbers that are referenced.
None of us have ever tripped on
We got it. We have
Okay. Here's how the first immunity challenge is going to work. Each pair will be given a list of 20 Dewey Decimal numbers spread across 2 floors of Northwestern University's main library. Hidden inside 5 of these books are colored dots. Each pair must collect 1 colored dot from each book for a total of 5 dots. Once a pair has found all 5 dots, they must search for Chase, who will be waiting for them in the library core. Castaways will only have 30 minutes to complete this task. The top 3 pairs who find 5 dots in the shortest amount of time will win immunity and be safe this week. You guys have a minute to strategize.
together, otherwise we'll get
I
lost.
think we at least start together. If we could start together and only go
Yeah.
2 votes,
If
and
we're
then
going
we've got
really
this
long,
under
yeah,
control.
you're going to 3 sound, right?
Yeah.
But that works.
Library.
You don't know how library. Wait, Carson, do you know if there's any sort of like indicator as to where?
I'm hearing it's a dot inside the
No. Like, can we go? You guys are on this.
Yeah.
I see my drink people. Let's get to know each other.
And then get to know us. Goes both ways.
Oh, how your friend in this?
No, I'm saying if we help you, you should help us. Hey, it means we both don't go to tribal council.
I'm still not sure how this game works.
Nobody knows how this game works. 2-3.
Thank God and respect to her for clutching up in this first immunity challenge, because she did phenomenally.
Do you have answers? Not to the... I think I'm messing this up for everybody. I'm just just been collecting dots. Is this supposed to be one color? Do I have to ask the competition? I swear to God.
What's up?
Are we sure the dots have to be the same color?
No,
they're not the same. Okay, bye. How do I get out? S2
Yep. Alright, let's get out of here. Wait, they went from over here. Could it be?
Oh, that's annoying.
Have you found one yet?
Can I fuck away?
Okay. Oh, thanks. C2, yeah. Sorry, Carson.
Is there a chance they move things?
There's a chance because
831, let's go. Yeah, baby.
I'm never going to a library again.
Yeah, no.
I'm traumatized.
This has ruined libraries. Catch me in here.
We had the good system at like the end of the first one, but then the second floor just did not
Fell apart for you.
So we're safe this week at Tribal Council, and I don't need to worry about that. But if we're not safe next week, I think her name's going to be coming up. If Ashley's still sitting here in week 3, and we went to Tribal, that's because of me. That's not because of her.
At first I'm like trying to just like make a good impression for myself, right? Like trying to be a little bit funny.
It started snowing at the end and all the kids were like, oh my gosh, it's like time to not to work anymore because of snow.
Probably didn't work. But I do know Amos. And so in my group was Amos, Kylie, Katie, Peter, and Sammy, and myself. So there were 6 of us. I learned quickly that they're all fans of Survivor, which makes sense. I don't feel like a lot of people would do this who aren't.
Not really a big fan of the game. Like I didn't really know, like I sort of know what the rules are, and after going like through the syllabus and seeing what else going on.
I like them. I like Amos a lot. But I can see myself working with him. He seems very level-headed. He seems like a goofy person. He's very kind, from what I know.
Your first twist. This immunity challenge, you guys are going to be competing in pairs. For the first 2 weeks, you will be competing in pairs. You'll go to tribal council as pairs, you will vote as pairs, and you'll be voted out as pairs.
The twist, it was not just me, it's 2 people as one person. That's crazy. It's freaking me out.
Pairs are Peter and Kylie, Owen and Sammy, and Amos and Kate. Fantastic. And go. Here we go. All right.
They say go, we're running, Sammy and I are like chickens with our head cut off, but as we're running to the elevator, I turned to her and I was like, I work at the public library.
Once we get in there and we see how it's set up, because it'll be a circle, one of us might be able to go one way and one the other, but we only have one paper.
And she's like, oh my god, I love you. That was like first interaction.
I feel like it was a lot. I definitely did not expect like, you know, having to go to the library and check out books. I thought we were gonna be able to get like a really good lead by like me personally going to, you know, look at the other teams and like cheat off them.
So far, I get along with Peter pretty well. He seems very nice. He seems smart. He could find books pretty quickly, which is a useful skill.
we clicked in this challenge. I think we did a good job because we were there before the 30-minute mark. But I did at one point freaking push one of the books in so hard it fell out the other side. And there were still like a couple dots in there. So at the end of our challenge, Sammy tells me that she's a freshman and she's close with Kylie, and that her and some of the other freshmen were like meeting up for this or something similar, like they know each other. She knows a lot of these people, and I know almost none of these people. So that's gonna work so well for me that I'm her partner, because she's gonna tell me all her allies, she's gonna tell me all the people she's close with. I'm gonna freaking use that.
I'm so happy you're my teammate, honestly. I'm so sorry that like I'm not very well versed in that, but like you saved me.
Okay.
For the first 2 weeks, you will be competing as pairs, you will be voting as pairs, and you will be eliminated as pairs.
I was not expecting to have partners. That is something that's been done on other shows like the Challenge, but I've never seen it on Survivor.
People being together and like blood versus water pairs has been a thing, but it was really odd to see how we were like initially placed into these groups out of like pure randomness.
So without further ado, pairs, Jackson, and Allison, Chris, and Charlotte.
My partner, Charlotte, she seems very cool. She seems like somebody that I could work with down the line. And she also seems like somebody that could round out some of sort of my edges. I noticed that she was pretty social.
And Peyton and Nathan. Time starts now.
The last time that I studied the Dewey Decimal System was middle school, and they just bring it out of nowhere and they're like, all right, go have fun. And I've never been to this library on campus yet. This was my first time in there and actually like looking for books.
I've never used the Dewey Decimal System in my life. I always just ask the librarian where it is. Like, I'll run around the library and embarrass myself, but using the Dewey Decimal System is a whole other challenge.
Partnered up with Allison. I'm pretty excited about it, honestly. She seems to know what she's doing.
Peyton, Allison, and I ended up working together a lot during the challenge, during which we like ended up sharing books and like looking at books and like trying to figure things like that out.
Sus thing.
What's that?
So I don't remember which one, but like one of them, I was looking and one of the other ones was in its spot. So it was like wildly not in the right place in the library. So like,
Someone was
sabotaging was moving.
I feel like someone maybe cheated.
I feel like it was weird to like just go around looking. Like I didn't like know. I don't know. I just didn't know the order as well.
Yeah.
I haven't seen a full episode of Survivor in my entire life. I thought coming to this game, there's gonna be super fans here. And I thought that if they knew that I had never seen a single episode, they would target me. We're chatting, and then Josh talks to me and is like, what about you, Gus? Do you like Survivor? And I'm like, yeah, I like it. I've seen a few seasons. And then he goes to Greta, and Greta is fully like, I've never seen a single episode. And I'm like, okay, there's more of me. I knew there would be more of me. But I was surprised with how like bold she was with it, and how proud of herself she was about it. So I've decided to just be like, oh yeah, I love Survivor. Like, I've seen a few seasons. And then if anyone like asks me specifics, like if someone's like, who's your favorite winner? I'll just be like, no, who's your favorite winner? And like whoever they say, I'll be like, oh my god, that's mine too.
You are going to be participating in pairs.
Okay.
For the first 2 weeks of the game, you'll be competing as pairs, you will be voting as pairs, and you will be voted out as pairs.
What? Wait, what? Chase comes in, the challenge starts, and he reveals that instead of 2 tribes, we're going to be in pairs for the first 2 weeks. Let me tell you, full gag. Like, what?
So the partners are Gus and Paya, Greta and Josh.
I think I kind of lucked out with a pair who actually I think wants to win the game and wants to play, so I'm very happy about that. Also, it seems like she doesn't know a ton about Survivor, like I do. I'm a huge Survivor fan. I know like all the seasons, all the winners, and I've studied the game a significant amount, so I definitely know how to play this game, but I want to be put with somebody who doesn't know how to play the game because that means I can manipulate them.
I didn't know Josh before coming in to the game, but I have friends who know him that aren't huge friends or fans of his, so I was a little bit apprehensive. Like, I trust myself not to mess anything up, but I don't necessarily always trust like groups or like another person.
And go!
Oh my god. Oh wait, you took that.
Yeah.
On the 4th floor, we kind of thrived. Like, we did well on the 4th floor.
Did you hear that like our other one only counts for 1 dot?
Why?
Because like it's just that's how life works now.
1 dot.
And finally, we find a book, and it has 3 dots in it. And we're like, finally, yes, we found one. And we're like, I guess the 3 dots on each floor is just like, one book is just gonna have 3 dots.
Yes, I found 3 dots. Wait, so is it just one book that has all 3 dots?
Yeah, that's it.
It didn't make sense, and I should have noticed.
Me and Gus just like, I think we got just so heated and like in the middle of things that we just like overlooked the details, and so like our point went to the other team.
Paya? Okay, I'm still working. Do you want to take, or are we done? Do we...
No, well, I'm doing it for myself else, so we keep this,
Well-
but we didn't finish these numbers.
Oh, we did. Oh, okay. You're gonna keep on.
Yeah, because I think I got
Okay.
enough.
I wasn't trying to sabotage.
No, because I almost was like, hey, just don't look for these first few books. When I like saw them in passing, I was like, you know, I wouldn't
Yeah.
even be able to regurgitate the number.
Yeah,
It would just slow us both down.
Exactly. And so like when we were walking back, I was like, we didn't harm them all. Like we did everything morally. We were just. And little did we know, we screwed up.
From the get-go, I've sort of just like put my eye on Greta, and I think I'm gonna message her later and just sort of be like, would you wanna be in a little I don't watch Survivor? I thought this would be a fun alliance. I also haven't told Paya that I'm not a big Survivor fan, because that's a big secret, and I think I'm gonna use that and tell Greta that to sort of gain her trust, and we'll see how that goes. hopefully it all works out.
I think we killed it.
Yeah, we did. Winners win.
Yeah.
So. I don't know.
I'm really happy.
Well, we worked very well in the immunity challenge, and we are immune, which is amazing, so I'm very happy about that. Biggest concern I had coming into this game was being the first one out. On the flip side of that, I am not going to tribal, and also a majority of people is going to tribal, so they're all maybe going to vote up 6-1. If that's a 6-person alliance, that's very scary to me because that's a majority in the game, so that's something to be very wary of.
You guys are here. You guys think you're competing in your first immunity challenge today?
I hope to be, yes.
I think
I'm so ready.
Yeah.
You two are not going to be competing in the immunity challenge today. And it all has to do with the big twist of the season.
Alright.
I'm not ready for this.
It's
I'm not
just
ready.
started, okay.
I'm not ready.
Alright.
And that big twist is for the first 2 weeks of the game, you guys will be competing in pairs. You will be voting in pairs, and you will be voting people out as pairs. So for the first 2 weeks of the game, 4 people will be eliminated. You guys are the last ones to be picked. You know what that means? You're the special 11th pair. That means you will not be competing in today's immunity challenge. You guys are safe.
Yes! Yes! We did it! Yes.
Tonight was the first challenge, or for me and my surprise teammate, Jake. There was no challenge because I guess we were the last pair drawn, as in we were the only 2 names left, making us the mystical 11th pair. Am I sad that I didn't get to run all over Maine? No. But it does kind of I feel a little bad, even though it was just by chance that I didn't have to do this challenge and that Jake and I are safe. Because all I really wanted was not to have to go home week 1.
You will be sent to Exile Island. That doesn't mean you're exiled from everyone. You can keep talking to everybody. But you guys are technically on Exile Island right now.
Okay, alright.
Sure. I was already nervous being one of the last people there at the immunity challenge. And then learning that I'm not even with people on a tribe, just a person who's on Exile Island with me is really scary. Thankfully though, I do think that Keelan and I can get people later with the connections we already have before this game. So, I know one person and that's it. And so I will let you know. His name's Peter, alright?
Okay.
I will find a way to make him part of our little coalition or whatever, and his partner. Yes, it'll be all good. Do you know anyone?
Yeah, okay, so
Okay.
I know 2 people. I know Greta and Josh.
Oh, okay, good.
Yeah.
I'm hoping, I didn't recognize those names at all, so I'm just hoping that, like, I'm sure they're chill people, and I hope that, like, everyone kind of gets together and, like, it's all really chill. And I really think that she's also a really smart person.
Yeah, we'll see how this goes. I didn't know Jake before this, but he seems really nice. Sorry, that's the L. I live right next to the L. So does Jake. He lives above me, as we found out tonight.
I can't believe you live in the same apartment
Yeah,
complex
we
as me.
literally just,
Yes.
I've never met him before this day, truly, but
No.
he lives above me.
Yes.
He lives above me.
Hopefully she didn't pick up on the fact that, like, I was lying to her about not knowing that we lived in the same apartment. There was no way I was not going to know that. I had to do some preparation. I had to look at people, check their Facebook, check their LinkedIn. Who do they have connections with? Who are some people that I can kind of, weasel my way into and say, oh, look, like, we know each other. I'm definitely going to be someone that wants to fly under the radar, wants people to think that I'm their number one. I want everyone to think that I'm their number one at some point. Even though I don't think I'm the smartest, the most athletic, or the most social person, I think that I do have the willpower and passion that's going to, like, outlast everyone else in this game.
Beginning the game is so important, and I think I started really, really well. When the cast list first came out, I recognized 4 names. I recognized Matt.
So there are 5 stages of group dynamics. This is teaching time with Matt. There's forming, storming, norming, performing, and adjourning. Forming is what is right now. It's the first few days of the game where everyone's trying to be a little happy and everyone's being super accommodating to others.
I recognized Paya.
I'm walking back to the library right now because Carson and Amos are there.
I recognized Amos.
Chase released the cast list to us over 2 weeks ago. People have already spoken to each other. So I have, going into this game, a close alliance with Carson and Paya.
And I recognized Sammy. All for different reasons. Sammy's in an a cappella group I did a show with. Matt and Paya are both in Kesem with me.
Shout out Camp Kesem.
And Amos is really good friends with my girlfriend. So I met with all of them before the game even started.
Final three right here.
There was a clue in our Survivor syllabus, or a way to get a clue to a hidden immunity idol, where we had to count stairs. So Carson, Pay, and I went to do that together.
Do we count the bottom step, as in the floor we're on? Yeah. I actually ended up going and counting the stairs 3 different times. Once with Sam. Keep going.
Oh, we're doing this one.
I'm gonna count them all. What, you're gonna just give up? Once with Matt, and once with Paya and Amos.
So I have that alliance with Carson and Paya, and I feel pretty good about it. Definitely pre-merged. I hope they trust me.
I learned that each of them kind of knew 1 or 2 people.
I also know Josh. He is my pledge dad in my fraternity, but I'm really trying to play down the relationship.
We're actually really good friends, but I don't want anyone to know that, so we've just been telling people that we just know each other, we're in the same fraternity, but we don't like really great friends because we don't want a target on our backs.
Now, it's honestly in my best interest for him to not stick around for too long. He has the chance to blow up my game like no other player in this game does.
Because what they don't know is that I have an even closer alliance with Allison. We met freshman year.
Amos Pomp and I know each other from P-Wild. So like day 1. When we found out we were both playing, he texted me over winter break and we just like chatted about it a little, and then I kind of was waiting to get back to campus to text him to go and count stairs together and like kind of start like hopefully what I felt like was gonna be like our like we are each other's number 1 alliance.
And pretty quickly we were on the same page about wanting to play together.
First meeting.
So he told me that he had like chatted to Carson a little bit, and I don't know Carson.
I know it's so early to be saying this, but basically what I'm thinking is that he's the perfect shield.
Yeah.
And I don't even want to use the term shield until I post-merge, but really he's already building a group. Like I know he has like 5 people he wants to work with.
Okay. And he said that Carson and Paya were like knew each other.
Okay, I know Paya.
From
Pi Phi.
Yeah.
And that they were gonna have like this big group meeting.
And we were able to put together a core alliance that the 4 of us decided upon and set up a big group meeting before the game even started.
8 of us met up at my apartment yesterday.
Which was me, Amos, Carson, Paya, Sammy, Charlotte, Matthew, and Kylie.
Hi.
This is hard.
Amos brought Allison in.
There's too many of us.
Paya brought Charlotte in.
From Paya, we get Charlotte, who's Paya's roommate's twin sister's roommate.
So Paya's roommate's twin was Charlotte's roommate. But they neglected to mention that they fucking live together. They have like a bunch of posts together. Like she and Charlotte are like tight.
Like Paya and Charlotte didn't disclose to the full group that they're roommates, although Paya has told me and Carson, and Allison knows because I told her, and I don't know if anyone else knows.
How do we introduce ourselves in these things?
Paya and Charlotte.
Exactly, in our apartment, which I guess people still don't know about. Carson knows.
Gus does not remember.
And she's like, here's the thing about my apartment. Don't tell anyone this, but my roommate is also in the game, Charlotte.
I don't know if I totally want to tell Charlotte yet if I'm in an alliance with my pair, which I think is fine. I don't know. I haven't really made up my mind about it, but I think it's better to tell him than not. The more I think about it, maybe I shouldn't have told him that.
and Sammy brought Kylie in.
I feel like me and probably Sammy are close to the bottom of this alliance just because we don't have as many connections. I especially don't have as many connections.
Kylie got dragged here by Sammy because Sammy is in an a cappella group that's like the sister group of Carson's group.
So including me and including Matt, that's 8 people before the game even started. So we formed this group called the Illegal 8.
The Illegal 8?
The Illegal 8.
I'm not super stressed about people knowing that I know a couple of people.
I don't mind if people know I know people.
Yeah.
But if they know, like...
They're like, oh, you're best friend.
Yeah.
There's pre-merge and there is post-merge. And I'm telling you, I am not concerned about that right now. Everybody knows people. Like, we're all trying to, like, get the, like, a group together.
Kind of just the 8 of us being like, this is good that we have a group. We talked about some things, like I told them that I had talked to Jessie.
How do you 2 know Jess?
She's
also
we should talk about Jessie.
Jessie sorority, also in my sorority. She transferred here her junior year. Our junior year, we're both seniors. But I never lived like in the house with her, so I don't know her well. I reached out to her and asked if she wanted to count stairs with me after I had already counted stairs with Amos, and I told Amos that I was doing all of this. So Jessie and I went and counted stairs together, and then we went and had a little strategy talk.
Super Northwestern to make the first advantage a math challenge.
Yeah, and the first challenge in the library.
In the library, like, okay.
Like, this should be like Survivor Northwestern nerds fight. Instead of like, what is it?
Cats collide. Nerds fight.
The thing that I'm worried about is that it will be so obvious to everyone that like we're
I
gonna work together.
Yeah.
But like I also don't think we could convince people that we're not working together.
Right.
So I think we should work together.
No, I definitely think we should work together, but like on the down low.
And I kind of played dumb because I don't know, like I couldn't tell if she was playing dumb or if she just hadn't thought that much about the game yet. I kind of left it feeling okay. I don't know. I can't really read her, which kind of scares me.
I'm feeling pretty decent. I think that we're gonna get through this first tribal. I feel really solid with Allison, and her group is going to tribal as well.
I don't know if I came across as kind of ruthless because I was talking about how we could use Jessie as a number.
I could so easily get her to vote and literally any way I wanted. Like, so easily.
But how I also wouldn't be opposed to voting her out.
I don't think I would ever stick my neck out for her and be like, no, that's not. Like, if people wanted to vote her off, I'd kind of be like, sure. But like, I do. I sound horrible.
And I would feel bad getting rid of her. I mean, I'm not gonna even talk about that. That's like too deep right now. So I don't know if I came across as a bitch. Maybe this is the beginning of my bitch edit.
My mom said to me, she was like, if you're first out, you're gonna need therapy. Which is a bad thing to say because I feel like you could edit that in and then that'd be like foreshadowing for like me to leave first, which would be very mean.
No one here.
No one in this room. Yeah,
I'm sorry. No, they're gonna edit that and then stop it. Now that the group's actually founded, I'm trying to lay back a little bit. I don't want people to see me as the leader of that group, even though I've got really good connections with the 4 people that I initially talked to, Amos, Matt, Haya, and myself, and I'm going to be meeting up with Allison sometime later to chat with her and get on the same page. But I'm also aware that I definitely wasn't the first person that she was thinking of.
I think it is a nice, like, fantasy alliance to be like, la-di-da, if we all make it to the merge, we'll all work together. But I'm not naive about the fact that there's people talking within it, and as of right now, the only person that I, like, 95% trust, I can't even say 100, is Amos. Amos and I are already tight. He has a group chat with Paya and Carson, so I need to get in with Carson because I'm already kind of in with Paya. And Sammy, I don't know. Something about her is shifty.
The illegal 8 is strong, and just because of this partner thing, I don't think it's going to stop that.
Then the game really kicked in.
Then after the immunity challenge, that night we got sent out an immunity idol clip. And I want these immunity idols all to myself. I don't want to share with anyone. I don't trust anyone with the idols.
I considered going to look for the idol last night when I got the clue, but as you can see, if you look around, it is pretty snowy out, and it was like a blizzard last night.
It is currently 12:32 a.m. I just got home from doing a little late night search for the immunity idol. Paya and I are in last place due to our little book mishap.
I did the worst.
Has his partner found $3?
We got 2.
So I'm on the move. I'm gonna go to a few places that I think might be the location of the immunity idol due to the first clue.
And the clue was very, very tricky. I really didn't know. It said something about dancing rocks, a concrete walk of fame, and a tall tree.
Let me read it for you. Follow the dancing stones to the concrete walk of fame. There, at the base of a lone tall tree, lies something to help you in the game. So we're here at this tree in front of Wirtz, and we're thinking like dancing, like Wirtz Theater Building, and like also the sculptures, and then also being like Walk of Fame, like there's like famous theater majors from Northwestern, but there's already footsteps going to the tree, which is scaring me a lot. Now, people definitely came here. I saw very fresh footprints leading to and from the tree, but nothing like dug up by the tree. Like no one was looking through the snow for the immunity idol itself. Then we were also thinking concrete walk of fame, march to the arch. So I looked through the tallest trees along the march to the arch path, found nothing. And then I gave up for the night. Oh, and when I was looking, I found this rock, and I was so desperate to find the immunity idol that I messaged Chase, and I was like, is this it? Like, is this what it looks like? Please tell me. He hasn't responded, but now that I'm in the light and a little bit more sane, it's just a rock. I found a rock. It's not the immunity idol.
Chase just texted onto the hidden immunity idol, so we are all immediately suiting up.
Dancing stones?
Wall of Fame.
What is Wall of Fame?
Walk of Fame.
Does it say walk?
From the illegal 8, which, if you haven't heard, is what we're calling the 8 that met before the game started. Carson, Amos, Matt, and then Paya came after her challenge was done.
Carson, that'd be great.
I'm gonna tell Jesse to make a group chat with me and you, Paya, behind the camera. Because Matt and Jesse are partners, and Jesse thinks that she's linking us together.
Yeah.
Little does she know, we are watching each other text her and watching her text what the other person is saying. Immediately is the other person.
Sorry, Jesse. Sorry,
Jesse.
And I don't know Jesse, so I'm being brought on as somebody who they all
likely know Amos.
Yes, I know.
And then we all went idol hunting.
In Survivor, they make it look like you find the idol really easily. It's really not that easy to find the idol at first.
Oh my god, look at the fucking
like concrete walk of fame. The storm was ridiculous. It's so windy, and the snow is just powdery and icy and crazy.
Went idol hunting in the middle of a goddamn snowstorm. I'm not joking. It was so windy. It was freezing.
Okay, so we're running to the trip, and it's literally blizzarding.
My toes are literally, like, are they still white? Not quite. Otherwise I would show you, but that's gross.
Carson and I walked around for an hour. We have no idea where to look for the idol, and I feel like it's really hard to find it off of one clue. I don't know what dancing stones are. I don't know what the concrete walk of fame is.
There's concrete everywhere. Didn't find anything, but I'm glad that I went out with him because I think that we're like a really tight two now because of that.
I wear tennis shoes. That was a bad idea.
My tennis shoes are waterproof, so I feel a little bit better. But then I crawled around on my knees under a tree. It's weird because I'm paranoid about him in the game, but I actually trust him as a friend, which means I actually do trust him in the game.
We both feel really good about Kylie.
We like Kylie.
Allison.
It's weird because Allison's the only one who knows how close I'm seeming to Carson, and Carson doesn't quite know how close I am to Allison. Allison has been showing me stuff, and the whole group stuff, honestly. So, and then Paya is good. Or knew Carson before.
We like Sammy, we like Matt, we like Charlotte. Happy to look it up for now, but
yes,
the people we feel really good about are those other three.
And I have to feel good about them because I'm going to tribal with
them.
With all of them except for Carson and Sammy. So we have to feel good about each other and just hope that Peyton and Nathan didn't randomly find this idol, or that they don't find the second idol tomorrow.
We were given a hint, or given a chance to get a hint for the first one, but there is going to be a second one in play tomorrow. So I'm excited for that. Can't wait to see everybody around campus. Let's have a nice Survivor, everybody.
It is officially day 2 of Survivor Northwestern.
Okay, wow. This was quite an incredible day.
Today was an eventful one.
Things have been eventful since last night, to say the least.
It's like 32 degrees in Evanston today. 31. Feels like 18.
We had our first challenge yesterday, and Matt and I will be going to Tribal Council. I'm headed right now to get a clue to the idol. I got a clue last night, so there are 2 idols that are hidden.
If both your pairs showed up, you get 2 clues, whereas if only one, you only get 1. What actually happened was Greta is away for the weekend, so she wasn't able to go. So I got a clue for the second hidden immunity idol.
The clue, everyone said, was super vague.
And it said something about vision, confession, and redemption. Let me read.
Vision leads to confession, confession calls for renewal, renewal leads to dedication, dedication prepares survivors for a greedy world. Search amid the sunshine read.
The clue made it seem like there was something to do with faith and spirituality. So we went to Alice Millar Chapel.
We are here at Alice Millar Chapel looking for the hidden immunity idol.
We got something about confession, renewal, and dedication, so we thought that this would be the best place.
Hella religious.
And I don't think we can find anything.
Not here,
No.
not at Alice.
We might need to try Chio then. I feel like that's going to be our best option, because it says something about
that
reeds.
or
Yeah.
Garrett.
Me and Charlotte, we walked around Alice Miller Chapel.
We went to Alice Miller Chapel because of all the religious connotations in like the clue. But right now we're headed to Beanon, which is our school's like music place. Maybe it has something to do with reeds there.
All right, so we just got our first clue.
And we're looking for it.
Yeah.
We're going to Beanon because the clue had something about reeds.
And that could be like double meaning as in lake fill and or reeds as a musical instrument.
We're really getting tripped up by like sunshine reeds.
Then I looked up Northwestern University Sunshine and found someone named Edward Sunshine, I believe. He was a teacher at Kellogg, and so we were like, oh my god, Kellogg, Sunshine, it all connects.
We just found there's a man named Eugene Sunshine, retired from Northwestern in like 2014.
Yeah, and he talked about like finance and stuff, which is like connected to how we thought it was Kellogg, just because of like corporate greed, like business and stuff. We looked at the reeds.
There's
Apparently
just so
Chase-
many reeds.
Yeah.
If it was like just reeds, I would think like the lake fill,
Yeah.
like something grassy.
Yellow reeds, obviously.
I don't know. Could also be in the seminary. These look like reeds.
Where to next? We figured out the clue. Word for word, we found the clue in a location.
It turns out that this is exactly where we want to be.
Thankfully, Kayla came up with the idea about going to Garrett too.
We just got our first clue. I think we were like one of the last groups. That's my fault. Where are we going?
We're going to Garrett.
What is Garrett?
It's Shakespeare Garden. It's like
Okay.
there's like the theological seminary on campus.
Garrett had like the whole clue thing down. It was talking about some of like the keywords that were in the immunity idol clue. They were like right there at their chapel garden.
We have been looking through the garden forever now. As you can see, we have done a toll on these reeds. Hopefully they're not damaged. I don't think they are. I think they're pretty strong, but we cannot find them anywhere.
It wasn't until we got the second clue that we had access to the idol, and when we got that second clue, we ran into the exile room.
Yeah, this is the meetup, all right?
They seemed kind of nice, and they wanted to team up. They said that we were the only people that they had met that were playing the game. However, we're pretty sure that they have the idol right now, because they were like sketchy. They were like really, really sketchy.
Met the exile pair.
The deal with them is they're not in anything this week.
We definitely are playing the game.
That is also
that
a
is-
true statement.
Yes, we are definitely playing this game. So while we are in exile, we are definitely out here doing things.
Weird vibes. We think they might have an idol.
Kayla and Jake definitely have some sort of advantage.
I really think that Kayla and Jacob got the second idol because Chris and I showed up and they were here and they were very, very friendly, and Jacob looked like he had something in his pocket, even though it could have just been his phone.
He was wearing a sweatshirt, and there was like a little bump in the middle of it, and he had his hands around it most of the time, but then he took his hands out of his pockets, and it looked like he had pockets in his shorts too. So I don't know why he would keep something in his sweatshirt pocket.
They seemed really into working with us, but I'm sorry, they have the second idol that like kind of puts a target on your back.
I right now believe that he doesn't have the idol because while Peter and I were looking, he came over to us and was like kind of trying to help us look, but mostly he was looking for his AirPods, which he lost. Any luck?
Hopefully I can find him, get him back, especially when the snow melts, because right now it's going to camouflage into the snow pretty well. Didn't get the hidden immunity idol, lost my AirPods, whatever, it's Survivor. I think we did a pretty good job.
We're failures. Jake lost his AirPods. My hands are cold now. My phone's at 7%. But you know what? Vision leads to renewal, leads to dedication, leads to someone with the last name Sunshine. I have no idea where the idol is. I'm worried the other non-illegal A pair has it, which seems likely, except I don't know because who has it because the snowed, so unless they found it before. But that would be crazy.
So we got to the location of the second clue, Shakespeare Garden. This is the bush. We're pretty sure someone else got to it before us.
And I'm like, okay, Revision, that's the observatory, clearly. Redemption, there's a church right next to the observatory, so I started looking around there. And after maybe a half hour looking and checking everywhere, I see Carson and Amos huddled by a car.
Carson figured out the clue.
And like, there's no way somebody found this with just one clue. I did. I found it within 20 minutes of the clue coming out and went directly there because I just knew exactly where it was going to be. I just had a feeling in my gut it is going to be by this chapel that is right in the middle of campus, and then we were walking up to that chapel and I saw the exact bush, like the set of reeds that I knew it was going to be. It was like I hid that idol, you know. It was exactly where it was going to be. The one thing is though, I was up there, I was searching, and Amos was the one that actually found it inside of the reed.
I think we should leave here soon. Do you want to just go into the library or forward?
I wanted to make Carson keep walking to the library before we stopped to look at it.
And we should have gone inside somewhere private to look at it, but we were just so excited.
But of course he wanted to see it, so we stopped by car.
Congratulations, you found the
Josh is here.
Yeah, I see a little white thing. I'm like, okay, they have the item. So I'm like, okay, I can play this two ways. I can either just know it and use that as leverage, or I can go up to them and basically have the idol for myself also and know where it is. So I decided to go up to them and talk to them like, hey, you have the idol?
And lo and behold, Josh walks up, and Josh is not in the 8. I really didn't know him, but he walked up and he 110% knew we had the idol, so we just had to share it with him.
Oh, that's right. No, it's okay, well, I mean, I now know you have the idol. I guess we're lying now. Do you want to go talk some strategy?
Gus and Paya, they were matched up against us in the Unity Challenge, and like straight up stole our dots. See what?
And then we have to be in alliance with Josh. And his partner is Greta, and they're one of the people, they're two of the partners not in the illegal 8, so we would want to vote out the next tribal potentially. So that would kind of suck if I just immediately have to turn around and vote him out. But he also knows about my idol, so if we're going to tribal together, he could use that against me.
I am worried that Carson and Amos are closer than either of them are with me, because Carson's, I think it's Carson's girlfriend, his best, or maybe Amos's girlfriend, whatever. They know one girl, one of them is their girlfriend, one of them is their really good friend, so they knew each other beforehand. So that's worrisome to me. I'm always a little wary, but I will continue playing and seeing what's going on and play it by ear, which I think is the best way to just play Survivor. If you get too far ahead, you're going to get screwed over and not see something coming.
On the other hand, I do know where the other idol is.
So Allison and I just split up. We're looking for the idols right now. These clues don't make any sense. I'm not sure, I'm not feeling too hopeful. But I guess I gotta keep my head in the game. I'm gonna find this idol.
And then we get our second clue for the first item. And it was literally just a photo of where it was. I knew exactly where it was. So I texted Pay and I was like, here's the location. Go here right now. Go, go, go. Oh my god, I know exactly where it is. I sent her the location. Sent her the location. Where are you? Where are you? Where are you? And finally she responds and says, it's not there.
Oh my god.
He just found the idol, the first idol.
We found the idol from day one. I saw the picture and knew like right away where it was. I don't know how.
Some good things. The best thing is that I found an idol.
That was pretty much all Allison. My personal strategy coming into this was going to be kind of taking a backseat, being more of a passenger rather than a pilot. Bummed about going to tribal, but I think that's going to go fine. Like, I can't see myself having made an enemy out of anyone yet, and I don't think Allison has either. So I think we're in the clear, especially with this idol we have.
Paya saw me. I need to tell her right away. So she knows I couldn't keep being a secret from her. Okay. Paya and I are in the bathroom. It's Brenda. If you were building. Okay. Sorry, I really was like, I need to run away. No. How do you even have it? And the snow was messed up. I was like, there's no way to it, and then I kicked it. I kicked the snow, and it's right there.
Idol must be played before 13 castaways remain.
The good thing is Allison's idol ends at 13 people, and Amos's idol ends at 4. So it's way more powerful.
And it looks like this, which is really cool. It's a cat. And I'm gonna keep it wrapped up because I'm like really superstitious and I like don't want to display it. So that was really exciting, but it was like almost immediately tempered by the fact that everyone pretty much knows I have it. Jackson was obviously with me when I found it. Haya found out right away.
I was literally like, thank God it was you who ran around the corner. I'm nervous now because we like sprinted off.
And then Haya and I were in the bathroom of the theater building, like opening it, talking about how we didn't want to tell anyone else that I had it.
I can tell Gus. About this. I just feel like it's best to do this.
And then who the heck walks in but Kylie? I was like, what are the freaking odds?
Just walked in. That's Kylie. This is so crazy.
I'm gonna be like completely honest with you and like most of this game.
Okay.
So when I went in and they were debating whether or not they should tell everyone immediately or like wait till later.
I honestly thought that I was surprised that they told us.
At that point, like too many people knew. So I decided to just tell the whole 8 about it.
Because she texted a lot of us about it, which I think was a bad move.
While Jesse and I didn't find the idol, Allison did, who's in the illegal 8 with me. That's about it. I have a meeting with Jesse.
We're meeting later today with a few other groups to discuss tribal.
Gus, Allison, Charlotte, Chris.
There's a lot of names to remember. Hey, I'm Chris. Hi, I'm this.
Jesse, Matt, Paya.
Pia, I think? Paya.
Peyton and myself all got together to decide on who we are voting out.
Chris, Matt, and I show up first. I set up my computer. Slowly, more people trickle in. Finally, Peyton and Nathan show up last.
Hello.
And we get talking.
Yeah, so the 3 of us were on the 4th floor. We were doing the library challenge. Here, you would have honestly.
There was a meeting with people thinking that the reason that this group came together was Peyton, Chris, me, Paya, and Jesse. But really, obviously, like the 4 who were in the 8 were aware of it.
So, feelings. I guess we like.
There were a core group of 5 people that was not including Amos and Kylie.
So we know no matter what, on Monday, either Amos and Kate or Peyton and Kylie are going to leave. We knew for a fact that Peter and Kylie did not have an idol. And so we were like, we should vote for them then because we can definitely get them out.
It kind of like disappoints me that Kylie is the like primary target as we kind of call A because she lives in the storm. Me and her were like, hey, we're gonna like work together, but at the same time, if you're not telling me anything, if you're not giving me like any information whatsoever, how can I go out of my way to like sort of like tell you what's gonna actually happen?
And Amos and Kate, no one's heard anything from Kate, but some of us have saw Amos. I spoke to Amos briefly in North before getting the first clue. And I got good vibes from him, and it was just like that was the only connection I had to any of these 2 pairs that are up for elimination. But we thought he could also have an idol because he did go searching, and he also used to be head of P Wild, so he must be pretty outdoorsy and like good at looking for things and doesn't get tired after digging through the snow for 5 minutes. And so we were like, okay, Amos and Kate, between Amos and Kate, Peter and Kylie, Amos and Kate are more likely to have an immunity idol.
No idol. Maybe I will. Yeah.
Oh, and no, and then we talked about Jacob and Kayla.
We talked to the ex-subs today, and they were like, oh, we didn't get the first clue to the first idol. But then she was like, I'm a dance major, theater major. No!
They were put in exile, so they didn't have to look for books on Friday night. They just got to like enjoy their night, learn that they're in exile, get a clue, and live life free and easy. No way, Jose. You're next, bitch. They're donezo in my book. And then we were just realizing that so many people had K names, and we were like, what should the name be? I don't remember. I think it was Chris who suggested it. Don't take my word for it. Look at the video.
Wait, what's our group?
What about K for canceled? Because everyone's name is like Kylie, Kate, Kayla, Kakadao. Like what? Like no. K for canceled. The K's are canceled. We're gonna get them out.
I have to say, this group feels super temporary. I mean, the only reason we're banding together is because none of us want to be voted out first.
No one wants to be the first one voted off. No one wants to be blindsided.
Think on the fact that everybody wants to be in the majority of the first vote.
And they're doing whatever they can to ensure that they continue on.
Hopefully, Peter and Kylie will end up going home and we'll all be safe.
Why would we lie to our partners? Like, there'd be no reason to.
The major storylines of today, or like the major events of today, are as follows. The first one is that Kylie flipped the vote to save herself.
I luckily got a really good teammate. So now I'm on the way to meet up with some of the other members to talk about tomorrow's tribal. I think we can get something together. Kylie's been telling me some stuff about how she has kind of, gotten things together with some of the other teams.
6 out of the 7 groups that are going to tribal just met. It was everyone except for Peyton and Nathan.
So basically the situation is that this partners bullshit complicates everything. Basically the way that things stacked up, there are 6 partnerships going to tribal who have a member of the illegal 8, which means that the only people we can vote out are Peyton and Nathan.
The chaos in the group chat today. We were all just texting each other details for the stories to make sure they all lined up.
So you guys are going to tribal?
Yes.
We're not.
You and Carson are not, but the
And
rest of the 6 of us are.
the 6 of you guys are, and then there's one other pair that is not in the 6 that's going to tribal.
That's
The
Nathan
plan
and
is to
Peyton.
get rid of them.
Ideally, Nathan and Peyton will go home.
We needed Peyton and Nathan to not find an idol, and if we didn't know whether they had one or not, we needed them to feel safe so that they wouldn't play it and get voted out 6-1 with the 6 other pairs.
The hard part is that now that we have partners, all of those members of the illegal 8 have to convince our partners to vote the way that we need them to vote, because we have to send home Peyton and Nathan without telling them that we need them to vote that way because we had formed a monster alliance beforehand.
My pair is easy to convince. Kylie's pair is easy to convince.
Basically just voting with the majority, as long as the majority isn't voting for us.
Allison's pair was easy to convince. Matt said Jesse might be a little bit harder.
The plan there is to just put all 6 votes onto Peyton and Nathan. I'm not feeling amazing about that.
Paya said Jess might be a little harder.
Paya says that she and Allison met up with Kylie, who expressed concerns to them about not having really met with anyone and being eliminated during the first week. And she suggested voting out Peyton and Nathan.
I thought Peyton and Nathan won because I don't think they have an immunity idol, because Peter and I were like the last people yesterday to get the clue, but they were let after us.
And so Paya and Allison determined that Kylie would be a good person to work with, so they brought Jesse in on it. And then we hear that Paya is bringing in Charlotte and Chris, so they're part of it too. And I really like Charlotte and Chris, I trust them a lot. And then I learned that Amos is coming. And that really irked me, because as of now, it just felt like we were like, oh, maybe Peyton and Nathan, but we don't really know. But now that Amos has been invited to this alliance meeting, he can't be eliminated anymore. And so now we're forced to eliminate Peyton and Nathan. But I really didn't get good vibes from Kylie at all. She seemed very intense and very like she would do anything to win this game and was prepared to stab people in the back and kind of enjoyed it.
This is the psychopath in me. This is just what made me think of them. But in the Daily Northwestern,
I read this Daily Northwestern article where Nathan was interviewed.
and they interviewed Nathan, and he said, I'm really worried that people will form alliances and vote me out and like target me.
And like we all were waiting for her to elaborate and be like, so I feel really bad. And then she's like, and that's why I want to eliminate him. And so we're doing exactly that. pair of vying. Not for me. Also, she must have done research to look up that Daily Northwestern article and find that Nathan said that and matched that Nathan with the contestant, and it's just like, I'm in it to win it and I'm in to play hard, but she's playing psychopathically.
People are playing the game hard already.
The game is really just very stressful.
I am literally exhausted.
I'm like running at 1,000,000 miles per hour and like we'll never be able to stop.
I'm like already losing track of the lives. It has not even been one single vote.
Well, it's unfortunate. Tribals should be simple tonight.
I feel like Peyton and Nathan are pretty solid targets right now.
I think tomorrow's just gonna be a pretty clean vote. I'm pretty positive that Peyton and Nathan don't have the idol. And if I feel like after yesterday they feel pretty safe.
Well, I obviously don't know what's gonna actually happen at Tribal Council because you never really can. And like, I'm a really big fan of Survivor, so I think it's definitely weird that like this is gonna be my first actual thing that's gonna possibly make or break my game. Hopefully everything will go according to plan. I think I know who I'm voting with and the people who I'm kind of putting my trust in, but I don't know if it's gonna work out because it's Survivor and you never know what's gonna happen. So I am kind of just like taking a blind leap of faith and hoping it's gonna pay off.
I am about to walk to our first tribal council. We've done a lot of work this weekend to get everybody on board with voting out Peyton and Nathan without having any of our partners know why we want them so badly. I'm nervous. I think I will be every single time I go to tribal. I don't plan on playing this, but it's gonna be right here in the inside pocket.
Hi everybody, welcome to the first tribal council of Survivor Northwestern Castaway. You guys are here because you weren't able to find the knife doc. Does anybody want to talk about their experience in the challenge? Matt?
It was my first time trying to find a book in a library, and I mean, it's not easy. I think they can all attest to that.
So who likes their pair? Raise your hands. Everyone? That's good. And how does it change the game from what you know of Survivor?
I was excited to like go and get to know my tribe. Like I was like, okay, I'll get to know half of the contestants. That kind of boils down who I should really like meet. But with the pairs, it's different because you vote as a pair and you have to get to know everyone. There's a lot of different people, but it's also really nice because you get to know one person like really closely.
I don't know, I like the pair like twist. I thought it was good to like get to know one specific person, but then like the two of you kind of like get to know other people and then like collect, and I think that was pretty cool.
At first I was really scared about the pairs because of the fact that we're being voted off in pairs. So that's like boom, 2 double eliminations right off the bat, which is a little scary.
So let's learn a little bit about you guys. Is anyone here willing to admit that they are a big fan of Survivor? Raise your hands. No. Got mostly fans, some who aren't. In this game, do you think knowing Survivor makes you a bigger target than not knowing Survivor?
I almost think like the pairs kind of evens the playing field between like fans and people who are like casual viewers or like have never seen it because it's never been done on the show. So like if you're a big fan and you're coming in thinking you have everything figured out, you're immediately kind of like thrown off your footing a little bit.
I also think college Survivor is a lot different than real like normal Survivor. Basically at Northwestern, everyone has like a basic level of intelligence.
Except we couldn't find the books.
Even those who aren't fans are smart, so they'll be able to pick up the game, and even those who are fans have an adapted game that they need to learn what it is.
Another specific element of College Survivor is that coming into the game, some of you guys might have known other people who were in the game. Does anybody want to admit they know anybody who's in the game? Amos?
Yeah, I mean, I feel like it would be, I'm a senior, I know people around campus, like, I've run into some of these names before. It doesn't necessarily mean that I'm, like, best friends with any of them. I didn't apply with anyone to be on the show, but, like, yeah, I know some people.
I mean, I knew a few people. Like, I knew Jessie, I knew Allison from Pine Vine. I met, like, Charlotte freshman year, and, like, I don't know, it's just hard to play this game without thinking, or, like, college specifically, without thinking that other people know people.
So let's talk a little bit about the immunity idol hunt on Friday night, Saturday morning. Does anybody want to give me their perspective on how that went? Gus?
Very poorly. I went out into the snowstorm at 11 p.m. on Friday, and
At this point, I don't know if everyone knows the clue, so I'm scared to say. I dug through a lot of snow. I'll say that, and found nothing. And Saturday, once again, unsuccessful.
I personally think they're both have been found. I think most of everyone was out searching on Saturday.
The exile pair was there. Did anybody have any interactions with the exile pair they want to elaborate on?
They were like odd and like they were friendly in the sense that like they were like, oh, if you want, it was just, how would I explain this? You know how like when people talk to you because they want to like just like they just want to like be like close to you, not necessarily because they want to like be close with you later. It was kind of that, you know?
So that's exhausted most of, I feel like, the in-game events so far. So let's move on to Tribal Council. Tribal Council isn't a place that many people want to be, but is anybody excited about being here?
My mom was really excited for me.
At this point in the game, how do you decide who's going to go first? One of you guys, one pair here is about to leave the game permanently. How do you decide what the criteria for that is? How about this? Who's afraid that they might be in danger of leaving tonight? Everyone? That's good.
Exactly. You never know.
And then an amended version of that is, do you guys think that the vote is going to go smoothly, or do you guys think that there might be a potential of a big blindside tonight?
I don't think there can be a blindside yet, just because not a lot of people know everyone else. So I feel like we have to keep on playing. That's something that happens usually later down the line.
Well, I think with that, I think it's time to vote. First pair who's going to go vote is Amos and Katie.
Do you have anything you'd like to say?
Nathan, it's nothing personal.
It truly isn't. We just don't know
We
you.
met you like 5 minutes ago, but you seem very nice.
I've already talked to some people. I'm really sorry that you just said that about the blind side.
Well, I hope you don't by some miracle have some kind of immunity idol. Nathan, you said in the Dating Northwestern that you were really scared that there would be alliances and that you would be targeted out immediately. And sorry, you seem very nice. It's nothing personal. I hope we can all be friends. Hey. Oh my god.
I feel really bad. We're sorry.
We're really sorry. It seemed really nice.
We just had to do it to him.
We had to do it too.
It's first week. I feel
We
bad.
feel bad. We love you guys.
But the reason why we're voting you is because we're almost positive you don't have money.
Yeah.
And we're not trying to take any chances day one. It's a shame that Peter isn't even going to be here. So nobody's letting him out. Sorry.
Once the votes are read, the decision is final. The pair who will be leading the game will be asked to leave Tribal Council area immediately. If anybody has a hidden immunity idol and they'd like to play it, it will count for your pair. Would anybody like to play that? Once the votes are read, the decision is final. First vote, Peter and Kylie. One vote, Peter and Kylie. Second vote, Peyton and Nathan. One vote, Peter and Kylie. One vote, Peyton and Nathan. Third vote, Peyton and Nathan. 2 votes, Peyton and Nathan. 1 vote, Peter and Kylie. Peyton and Nathan. 3 votes Peyton and Nathan, 1 vote Peter and Kylie. Peyton and Nathan, that's 4 votes tonight. That is enough. You guys are the first pair eliminated from Survivor Northwestern Castaway, and you'll need to leave the tribal council area immediately. Anyway, so your guys' first votes happened to be a blind side. Terribly ironic that Nathan was the one who answered about the blind side. Terribly ironic in so many ways. But you guys all survived the first week. Don't take your pairs for granted. And I'll see you. I'll send out a rent to meet for the next immunity challenge within the next couple of days.
Nobody wants to switch.
Thank you.
Yeah. It wasn't as funny as I thought it would. It's only gonna get worse.
Yeah. We had a little meeting Saturday night with a couple of people, and we found out that 3 of them were sorority sisters. And right off the bat, that seemed like a bad thing.
Yeah, so maybe we just like knew each other.
4 of them knew each other, and that's already a majority. They just got us in, so we wouldn't probably go through and try to like mix up the vote.
Yeah.
Happens. Wasn't expecting a blind side so soon, but I guess since everybody watches Survivor, that's the thing that they seem like, oh, we have to do that. So if they want to do that right off the bat, good for them. I hope them the best in the game, but it sucks.
Yeah, I think it's definitely not what you want, but I don't know, I'm happy I played for when I did.
Yeah.
And yeah.
Stay tuned for scenes from our next episode. Next time on Survivor.
It is the 11th hour
It is-
for the 11th pair.
You don't even deserve to be here.
She's public enemy number 1.
Why didn't she think this through?
Keep going. 1, 10 steps.
Everyone in the Illegal 8, we've just come to a consensus that we will be villains.
Your fate is sealed as of this moment.
I wanted to meet her at least and just look my enemy in the eye.
Girl, do you know what game we're playing?
Survivor, man.